went just overall?
I think it was a really good test for a lot of us, especially the younger guys. I think we talked about it after the game, our last game, that last year we went 3-0 in Arlington, but I think we're more prepared for the rest of the season based on what we did this weekend because we got tested, we we lost the game, but then found a way to win a game at the end. So
Did it feel a little bit like Monday was a lot like Saturday until you guys broke through? That it just wasn't happening at first?
yeah, I think we had a meeting after that game where we lost to Fresno State, and we just talked about how we're gonna have to win games when we don't have our best game. And I think that up until the end of that game, we were feeling kind of out of it. And then all it takes is a couple at bats, a couple things to go your way, and then you're right back in it. That's how baseball is.
You ever had a game where you've had coaches ejected after you take the lead? Like that?
No, no, I don't think so.
What was that like? I mean, were you in the dugout or were
I
you
was actually hitting
you were hitting?
at
Okay.
at that point, and I was just talking to their catcher the whole time. We were both laughing about it. They weren't very happy with the umpires as well, so it was like I don't know, it was both same kind
Yeah.
of thing. But
You had Mason White playing some second base, playing some third base. You have Kiko at first base, different from last year. How do you think the defense has looked so far?
I think we looked pretty good. I mean, we're gonna make mistakes, but I think that all the guys that are in the infield, even the guys that aren't playing right now, all have a chance to play infield for a long time. And I think that we'll be more prepared for when stuff happens throughout the season. I think.
Haven't you heard of something on you know, the Kiko there, but you throw it in that ball.
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's. I mean, I pride myself on my defense, and I think that he does that as well. So it's nice to have someone over there. I mean, we had good first basemen for a while since I've been here. Like Bossier was really good my first year here. So similar to him, I think. Just throw it, get it over there, and he's gonna catch it.
How nice is it to get to be back home now and play in a familiar place?
Yeah, it's nice. Only the weather was a little nicer today, but I mean, we'll deal with it. It's not bad.
How much of an advantage do you think this park gives you guys?
I don't know. I feel like it's not that. I don't really think it's that much of a difference than other places, but like the outfield's a lot bigger, so there's a lot of room for hits. I think it's nice to know like the dimensions of the park, at least for us, because when you're base running, you know when balls are going to get down, that kind of thing that other teams might not know. So I think that's a big part about it.
You talked about the defensive Kiko Romero. He drove you in for the go-ahead run in the ninth inning on Monday. What were your overall takeaways of his first few games with Arizona this past week?
Yeah, I think he had some struggles, but I think that everyone has some struggles, and I think that that's going to help us along the season goes on. And I think that hit right there shows you that he's going to be a big part of our offense, and he's not going to let the moment get too big for him. And I think that he's going to do a great job for us.
Also talked about changing a lot during the offseason and getting ready for this season. What did you see behind them at shortstop? What did you see doing his performance out there?
I think he competed really well. His stuff's gotten a lot better since last year, and I think that that's just the start of what he's capable of. I think he would say that he wishes he would have been a little bit better, but I think that he competed and gave us 6 innings, 5 innings of a good performance and he gave us a chance to win the game. We just didn't score any runs. So I'll take 3 runs and 6 innings every day from Tonko or any of our pitchers.
How was your first weekend for Arizona?
It was cool. I mean, not a lot of cool. Not a lot of bad things happened. I mean, it was really cool being Tennessee, coming out, being number 2 team in the nation. And it was kind of the first time I really had not really one of the first times, but coming from a JUCO, we don't really have a lot of fans, like diehard fans, and those guys showing up for all 4 games. It was really cool.
You didn't have a lot of Central AZ chants coming from the
No, just a lot of parents.
a lot of parents.
Yeah.
Got it. What was your recruiting like out of high school?
It was pretty good. I kind of ramped up my junior year, after my first full varsity year as a sophomore. But just coming out of high school, my freshman and sophomore years didn't really have the grade. But it was cool. I mean, U of A recruited me as a senior, but again, I just chose to take the JUCO route.
Okay. So it was more you did have offers then?
Yeah,
Opportunities?
just academics.
Okay. So this last season that you had at Central, particularly the World Series, kind of really ramped up your attention on you. Were you expecting to get drafted?
It was, I mean, yeah, I think right after that World Series, I definitely expected to, but I mean, me and Trip were talking all 3 days. And after that second day, I kind of just decided I was just going to come here, see if I can do what I did last year at Central, and then maybe get drafted this year.
Okay. And how do you feel you've been at the plate so far?
I'm struggling a little bit. I mean, jumping from JUCO to D1 is definitely a little incline. So struggling a little bit, but me and Toby have been talking about a lot of stuff, kind of changed some stuff over the weekend. So I'm excited to get back in the cage this weekend.
And when maybe that's not going as well as the fact that you're able to still have the defense that you're doing, keep you feel like you're making the contributions?
Oh yeah, I kind of pride myself in my defense. I mean, I know that's why Chip loves me over there at first base, and I feel like that's why that's kind of keeping me in the lineup right now. But once the hitting gets going, it'll just click on all cylinders.
It seemed like you had several of the short hop kind of ones to your glove side. I mean, is that just instinct?
Yeah, just Cooley and Chip just hammer ground balls at me and Trevor over there at first base, and just repetitive reps and muscle memory in the game.
Being from Tucson, what does it mean to get to play for Arizona?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, this has been a dream school since I've grown up. I've come to countless games as a kid. Seeing like Nick Quintana, Tony Boyd, now he's on my team. Kind of a fan of him. It just means the world, and get my family out here watching is really cool.
What do you think it's going to be like playing in front of the Arizona crowd this weekend?
Oh, it'll be awesome. I mean, all the guys say it's one of the most electric places to play in the pack, and I believe it. I mean, even our fall games are pretty packed up.
When you were at CDO, did you ever play here?
We played in a semifinal here my sophomore year, and I think a couple fall games my junior year.
Okay. How did you guys do in that semifinal?
Well.
Okay. Did you ever play against Mason White in high school?
No, he was a freshman when I was a senior.
Okay.
So he was, I think, he might have been on JV or freshman when I was on varsity. Yeah.